What a guy.
That's handsomeness right there.
Gray hair, silver locks.
Welcome, welcome.
How are you today?
Good, good. So I'm excited to start our new year off with a movie.
Oh wow!
Just like all of last year.
Okay, yeah. Well, we've got to get through somewhere, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
How many more do I have to go through?
I don't know, one a week. Yeah, 52.
Ooh,
but we want you to live at least another 10 or 20 years. So
oh.
about 1,000 more. That's what I'm looking for.
That sounds like a lot of movies.
That sounds like a lot of movies.
Okay, but we'll get to where we can.
That's what we're just going to keep watching them and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I took a bit of a mandate from some of the things you've said. Well, that's not true, but I'm always trying to learn from what you've liked or not liked.
Fair enough.
So a lot of times you like some sword action. That's what I'm hearing. Maybe you don't remember it, but it pops out in the videos.
Take the head off. That's kind of
Yeah. And you were sad when the other one didn't have the head chopped off, or Bruce Willis didn't chop a head off, and Yojimbo wasn't that. So this is an interesting one. I'm doing a samurai movie again, but this one kind of an odd history. I'm going to go through it just because it's a thing you need to know a little bit about. So there was a Japanese comic book series called Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay.
And they made a movie series from it.
Okay.
Called Lone Wolf and Cub. And they ended up making 6 movies over, somebody can correct me later, like 3 years. They made them quite quickly.
Wow.
And I think basically they were not released over here for quite a while. So what happened was somebody picked up the rights, and in 1980 they took the first 2 movies from the series, dubbed them over in English, and edited them into a single movie.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So the movie we're watching today is that movie. It's called Shogun Assassin. So it's lots of sword action. Mm-hmm. It's lots of gore. It's 2 movies edited into one, so it's gonna, it cuts out a lot of the fluff. This is this is
all action.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think this will
one big sword fight.
Yeah. If you gave me a mandate, which I think you did, to have more action in your movies, in the movie that we're watching, this should meet that need.
You don't think it might be a little overkill?
You know what? I love this movie.
People get killed in this movie.
People do get killed in this movie. There's a lot of kill. I don't know about overkill, but there's plenty kill. That's for sure.
Okay.
When I think of what I consider great movies, there are the ones that are like really well made and just excellent films that are like, and then of course I have to connect with them for them to be great.
Yeah.
But there's also ones that don't necessarily have to meet those standards, but they're cool movies. Mm-hmm. So like a really cool movie, and we'll watch a bunch of those. This one is one of those. This is what I would consider a cool movie. Like the original movies were quite well made, but once you take a movie and dub it, it kind of, it loses something. Like you're hearing the original actors. I don't think it's worse. Like I think, and it's got a really cool soundtrack on this movie too.
Right, okay.
But it definitely, some of perhaps the cinematic technical excellence might be lost from this, but the coolness factor is through the roof.
Well, my basic philosophy is I like it or I don't.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And
if I'm entertained,
yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean something that I normally would do, but if it was entertaining and I enjoyed it, that's great. Yeah. That's my basic minimum standard.
That's exactly, I think I'm the same. I know I'm the same. So there we go. We're going to watch Shogun Assassin. Hopefully this will scratch the samurai itch that you've been itching with for a bit here.
Well, if his head's rolling off and,
I can pretty much promise you.
Yeah, well, that's, as long as they, somehow they don't, whatever. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
He cut off the heads of 131 lords for the Shogun.
Mm-hmm. So you can see it's got the American screenwriters credited because they were the ones who edited it afterwards or wrote the dubbed dialogue.
Inside his castle, and he never came out.
Mm-hmm.
I only remember the Shogun's ninja.
The little guy that's doing the talking now.
Yeah.
You madman! We command you! Guards! He defies the Shogun's orders! Guards!
Ooh. Holy cow. Good shot.
Deep cut. There you go. It's the beheading you wanted.
Yes, he did. Still standing there, but
Not for long.
there he goes. Letting off steam, it looks like.
Red steam.
Yeah. Well, it didn't look red in that. Might have, should have been, but.
And would you keep this for me? 1,000 pieces of gold.
Ooh.
Mm.
Nothing this time.
Yep.
Joey's got to be ready.
I bet she does, yeah. It's hard to stop that guy.
Yeah.
Look at the odds, too. My God.
Farewell, my son.
Yes.
What was the outcome of the duel?
Terrible.
Ooh.
So good they had to show it again.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's his nose.
It's pretty tough, too.
Oh, yeah.
Falling down, eh?
You got it.
Well, the guy's getting good already, too.
Yeah. It's all part of being on the road.
I guess so, yeah.
Now, does he count that as one of his dad's kills or his?
Aha. Are they ninjas?
Yeah.
Are the women all ninjas?
Those ones are, yeah. Like
Okay.
they hired a ninja clan, a female ninja clan.
Okay.
Essentially, everybody who's trying to kill him is a ninja.
Yeah. Sharp though, too.
I am the supreme ninja.
Oh!
Not for long.
Yeah.
Interesting way to escape.
Yeah, running backwards
Yeah.
without your clothes.
The kid will get seasick in there, I think.
Need some shock absorbers. Put some shocks on it.
Yeah. And roll. He knew when to do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he
Well trained little guy, little killer. Looks like flames instead of blood, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very red.
On his way again.
Yep.
Another little skirmish dealt with.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem to have too many problems with those skirmishes.
He's getting weak too, it looks like.
Yeah, he must have. Well, I mean, he had the hooks,
Yeah.
and who knows what else got him.
He fought and killed all but 2 of them.
Nice laugh, yeah. Hasn't got that figured out yet, I guess.
No. He's got an idea now, though. There you go.
Something for the food, eh?
Yeah, just a trade.
That was the first time I ever saw my father spare the life of an enemy. He should have killed her, but he didn't.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Uh.
Little skin job there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Sorry to bother you. Would you return my knife?
Oh, it's buggy.
Yeah, gotta put it out, though. There you go.
There, yeah, I guess.
Who knew he had that skill?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Got all the skills. Water fight.
Yeah. Is that the lady?
Well, it's the one from the boat, and I'm not sure if she's the same one from earlier or not.
Oh, right, okay. It looks like he's saving her, isn't he?
Yeah.
It might be the one from earlier because.
You saved her, or he let her live.
Yeah.
Considering she just tried to kill him again, it probably was a mistake.
Yeah, I know. Oh, maybe he's not going to make her dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been somebody there, eh?
Looks like it. I figured it out.
Another one.
Mm-hmm. Not much of an ambush.
No.
You gotta surprise them, not the other way around.
Come on down. Yep.
Oh, we broke it. Nice. You were afraid all you would get was a beheading.
Yeah.
I got something a little cooler.
The axe ain't gonna help.
How could you?
Okay, one more to go.
Oh. There's your steam.
But to have it happen to my own neck is ridiculous.
I guess I wish it was different. But a wish is only a wish.
There you go, eh?
Mm-hmm. So that was Shogun Assassin.
I guess so.
So, really easy pop quiz. So you're the pop, here's your quiz. Did you find the ending satisfying?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. The dad, the son walked off into the sunset. Yeah, no, that was. I thought he might have got together with that lady, but I guess he finally had to kill her, or they killed her.
She went back, and then she probably had to kill herself.
Maybe, yeah,
Do
because
the
he
whole-
failed, eh?
Yeah.
That was too bad.
Yeah.
That would have been a. No, the ending was, I think, fine.
The reason why I asked was just because obviously he didn't kill the shogun.
Mm-hmm.
In the original series of movies, it's not the shogun, it's the leader of another important family.
Okay.
Yeah, who kind of sets him up so that the shogun, feels betrayed and then he wants to take his position of power.
Okay.
Even in those first 6 movies that were made, they didn't get to the end of killing that guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so but I think partially because I could be wrong, but I think the comics were still being written at the time. And it is based not on a true story, but
No.
it uses historical elements. The character who's the shogun in the original series, he's the leader of the Yagyu family. So he's actually a leader of a family of ninjas.
Oh, okay.
And I think historically that's who the character really was.
Okay.
And so there's the ninja family leader, and then he is the Shogun Decapitator. So they kind of maybe didn't quite show in the original series of movies and in the comics, and I assume this is probably a true role. Mm-hmm. The idea is when somebody betrays the Shogun, they commit harakiri, right? So they cut themselves across their stomach.
Right.
But because they're doing and it's extremely painful, right?
Yeah,
and it's painful and it takes a long time to die, but because they're doing the honorable thing by killing themselves, they have a decapitator who stands behind them and cuts their head off after they complete this cut.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have to bleed out, their guts don't have to hang out, they don't have to take forever, they've done the right thing, and so they just get the less painful, and that's what his family's role was. And I guess it's in the stories, it's, I don't know about historically, I don't know where this lands, but in the stories it's the right hand to the king kind of right hand to the shogun kind of idea.
Okay.
So the Yagyu clan is ninjas, but nobody really knows who they are because ninjas have to be secret.
Right.
So they want to take over the role of the Shogun Decapitator as well.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the original story. I ended up, I liked this movie a lot. A guy I knew recommended it to me. This was way back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And I watched it. And then luckily it took until the mid 80s, so at least 10, 15 years before they came out on VHS, but they had released the original movies in, subtitled in English.
The full two movies?
The full 6 movies, because those 2 and then the 4 more.
Right.
Yeah, so they had released...
condensed.
Yeah. It uses a little bit of the first one for setup, and then most of the rest of it's the second one. Probably like 2080 is kind of how it goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so luckily by then they had released those, so I was able to watch all of them. And then I even read the manga there, the Japanese comic books, because I like the story, and it doesn't complete the story, right? Like I wanted to see, what happens to Yagyu Retsudo guys,
Yeah, right on. Okay.
So I ended up watching them all.
Well, why not? I think this is the only one I'm going to watch.
I think so too. Yeah, it was fun, but we'll see how you feel about it. But we don't need to watch another one.
Yeah.
And we've been surprisingly samurai kick over the last little while.
Yeah, we're into the beheading thing.
Yeah. So does this scratch your itch now?
Well, I think that's a pretty good run.
Yeah. You got the beheading, and they showed it twice.
Yeah, well, the same. Yeah.
The same one.
The only thing is, you talked about the graphic. I think the blood looked phony.
I think it did too, and I think that's on purpose.
Maybe.
I think
don't
they
know for
wanted
effect.
it to.
I mean, they're shooting them with like a geyser, and it's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not realistic.
No, it almost looks like it's a mist too. Some of those times.
Yeah.
For effect, though, I mean, it definitely shows you what happened there, and it just didn't take away from it. Just thought, well, that's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a choice. It wasn't. This isn't the only or even the first samurai movie to feature that. In fact, the one we watched, Yojimbo.
Yeah.
In the second movie, there's a sword fight at the end, and the guy he gets the spray. Like I can't remember if I don't think he gets his head cut off or anything, but there's definitely like a spray. So I mean, it goes back to at least the 60s.
The style of it.
And I think
effect or whatever.
Yeah, the spray for sure is very. I don't know. It's a very Japanese thing. I'm a fan of it. Like I don't mind if gore doesn't look realistic. It just has to have. It's a cathartic thing, right? It's just kind of a release. Hey, that's cool. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want realistic gore.
Yeah, there was a couple of what I would call gory ones.
Mm-hmm.
And some beheading them one day.
Beheading.
Gory,
what was your favorite? So what were some of the ones that you did find significant then? Guy getting his head cut in half.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah.
And even just cutting off limbs and fingers.
The fingers.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I could see that, but there was a couple of cuts, and I wish I could remember them, that really looked like gory hurt ones.
Yeah. Well, like the guy who got his face cut off and his ears and his fingers by the lady ninjas there. That one looked pretty rough. Like we weren't seeing it, but his fingers were falling off and stuff.
Yeah.
And I found the club guy when he was hitting people. That looked like pretty heavy duty hitting.
Yeah, you could see that blood splash.
Yeah, and just something
and
about
it.
Like,
it would. I
yeah.
think, more so splattering than
like
shooting or misting. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way they did the thing at the beginning with him in the white robe, and so whenever he's killing people, it's all color in his robe.
Yeah, it got a little messy.
Letting the pasta sauce onto him.
And I thought the female ninja fight was really interesting.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, the way almost one of the first ones, they came up from the back and they were there. There was about 5 or 7, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them, and they were fighting. And I thought that was quite different than what I expected.
Yeah, the movie did a good job of having variety. I mean, the whole series kind of does that, and part of it is just like variety of the fights, variety of the weapons, and variety of locations too. Like one of the later movies, maybe even the 6th one, is in the snow. So there's a whole skiing scene where he's skiing down a hill, killing people left and right, and of course the baby cart has sleds on the bottom, so he's still around.
It doesn't go up. It doesn't go up.
Well, I said they made him in the course of probably like 6 movies in like 2 or 3 years. So he grows up, but he's like 7 at the end.
They could have brought him along, but I guess that wasn't the.
That wasn't the comic book. That wasn't the story. One of the names of it, at least in English, one of the release names for it was Baby Cart. So I mean, the baby cart's got to be part of it, right?
Yeah.
And Daigoro, the kid there, he got his kills in too.
Yeah, he did.
Chopping off
the wheels and taking their ankles off below the ankles. That one was cool. And he had one at the front too.
Yeah, he got the woman when she was, I think it was a woman, when she was coming up, he hit the button and she got stabbed.
I like the kid though when he was in there talking about the story a bit too. I like that part. That's sort of setting setting the story up. I guess, yeah. That was kind of cool.
Speaking of setups, I like the way they set things up. Like, you know, like they set it up quickly that the ninjas can come and attack at any time. And then like and they use that throughout the movie, like the scene where they're in the bathtub and it just does that one shot where it just rotates around the room and he's got his sword in his hand and nothing happens, right? So they're setting you up with the idea it could happen anytime, but not this one.
No, that's true. That's true. You're right, though. The music was good.
I liked it. Yeah,
it really, I thought, fit the scene and the tempo and the pace. It was really quite good.
Yeah, I like that.
Even the snare drums.
Yeah, that sort of military kind of marching music.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. Like a lot of that '80s kind of synth music.
I'm not in the '80s yet.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the decade. Okay.
Yeah. Woo. I was in the '80s.
yeah. I would know you were the.
I was in the '80s. Yeah.
No, you were 76. Yeah, that's not the '80s.
No, but I was alive in the '80s.
Well, so was I.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, no, I thought we were talking about. You think I'm 80 now or something?
No. A lot of our viewers don't remember the '80s. I can promise you that.
Well,
they were not there.
I have trouble remembering the 70s.
That could be a whole story right there.
They slipped by. It might have been a foggy day or something. I can't remember. No, my trip to New York to go to the big folk fest didn't get off the island. So.
Were you okay? So now you've mentioned that twice. You're talking about Woodstock.
Yeah.
Were you actually potentially considering or interested in going? Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I just one of the things it was being advertised. I was that age. Oh, that'd be cool to go.
Yeah.
Same thing with Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco.
Okay. Just places you might want to, things.
It was a lot closer.
Yeah.
But I think I had other things that I couldn't do away. But it was kind of a bit of a challenge to think about it, and kind of think it'd be cool to go, but never really thinking it out that far ahead that I could really actually make it. I don't think.
Do you know anybody who went?
No.
Well, that's interesting. So you said that so Woodstock was advertised. Like I don't know.
Well, no, you just hear about it being. Yeah, there was a big. How do you get?
Oh yeah.
There was talk about getting this big thing going.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was on the TV and news, and that's how it wasn't advertised like. On TV as an ad.
Yeah.
It was just
people talking about
is going to happen.
Okay. Well, so Shogun Assassin, what's our verdict on that one?
Well, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. I found it entertaining. Just the story, I lost a little bit, missing a bit of it, but all in all, I thought it was a pretty darn good story. The pace was I wouldn't say it was a fast pace. It was a slow pace. I mean, there's lots of action, but short spurts of action. And it kind of wandered through the sand for a while.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Pace was fine. It wasn't, but it wasn't, I would say.
But it wasn't, okay. So that's fine. I mean, you're saying it's not a negative, like it's not a bad pace.
No.
But if I had sold it to you as like the fastest paced, tensest.
Western. No, it wasn't.
No. Japan was very shut off. Like that was part of their culture at the time, was to just like foreigners were, I believe, killed if they showed up on the shores.
Oh, good. Like Woodstock wasn't there. And I made it. I wouldn't make it back.
It's true. It's true.
Anyhow.
Yeah. So. Shogun Assassin? Nice. All right.
I liked it.
I did too. Oh, don't go yet. We got one more thing. So he wants to go. I got to go quick. Like, comment, subscribe.